Hey, it's Jordan. I'm here at a local school in South Bend, Indiana, and I'm here with Sholanda. And unfortunately, July was it?
July 21st.
July 21st of this year, your son died. I'm going to let you explain it because it doesn't add up to me.
I know. July 21st, I got a phone call approximately at 3-something.
Afternoon, morning?
3-something in the morning, stating that from a young lady that he was there with, I think Will shot himself. And I'm like, what? Which I knew it wasn't true. I was like, well, just call the ambulance, get him to the hospital right now.
Your son's name was Will?
Will, yes. And she was like, I already did. And I was like, okay, so me and my other better half, he took me right over there. When we got there, it was 2 ambulances there, and they didn't have anything taped off. They had a police officer standing at the doorway to where I couldn't get up. I said, I just want to see my son. So when my fiance asked, is he still alive? The one officer said, yeah, he's okay. He did me like this, he's okay. But another officer came back and shook his head and said no. I called his godmother. His godmother came over and peeled me up off the pavement. He picked me up off the pavement. It don't add up because I know my son didn't kill himself. I know he didn't. There's a lot of questions. My son was left-handed. He got shot on the right side. His hand was fractured. I have documentation from the doctor that his hand was fractured. He couldn't squeeze a ball.
I'm sorry, I want to move backwards for a second just so people understand the process. So normally if a loved one that was deceased, the mother, father would get to see them,
I was not able to identify my son's body. They told me no.
What reason did they give you for not being able to identify his body?
They did not give me a reason at all.
And they said that he killed himself with a gun.
That's what they said.
And your son was 23, to your knowledge. He was working. He wasn't depressed that you know of?
No, he was not. My son was not depressed. He was working at Linden Grill. He has a 2-year-old son here, and he has brothers. He had family that loved him. He was a very outgoing young man. I can show you a video of him just dancing and laughing all the time. You know.
And he had a child on the way.
He has a matter of fact, it's a little girl, and he called me that day before he got back here to South Bend, and he told me, Mom, I know it's a girl. And they were selfish. They were selfish.
You know,
they were selfish. They took my baby. They took my son. Why?
When you say they, who do you mean?
Whoever killed him, because I know he didn't kill himself. I know he didn't. And it's been very hard, especially with the holidays coming up. It's been very hard. It's only been 4 months. It's not right. I just want to know the truth. And they're not giving me the answers that they need to give me. It's a lot of things that's not adding up.
Another really thing that doesn't make sense to me, and I feel like this would be in some type of movie. I was told that once your son was in the funeral home, that officials came to touch his body or do something?
They did not get my permission to even touch my son. And true enough, I was...
Can you tell the audience what happened specifically? Why did they come to the funeral home?
I don't really know. I was just only know what I was told. They came to the funeral home to remove the bullet from my son's head.
They do that in an autopsy per se?
They would have done that in an autopsy if they would have gave me an autopsy, like I asked them to give me an autopsy, and they refused me an autopsy, telling me that, oh, it's going to cost too much money. Well, you don't know how much money I have. You don't know if I could have paid for it or not. But from what I've read, and I've been reading, and from what I know, they violated my rights. They did not let me see my son. They did not give my son an autopsy. They didn't do any of that. But why? And why?
Was this the South Bend coroner or the St. Joseph County? Do you know?
Joseph County coroner.
Okay. Was your son in a South Bend hospital?
They didn't take him to the hospital. They didn't take him to the hospital. They didn't let me see him. They didn't let me do any of that. And I asked them to take him to the hospital. So how do they just pronounce someone dead? And I wasn't even able to identify my son. I wasn't able to identify him.
So where you were picked off the pavement, where they wouldn't allow you to go upstairs, that wasn't a hospital? That was the funeral home?
No, that was the apartment complex.
Oh, I see.
That wasn't the hospital. That wasn't the funeral home. It was the apartment complex.
So they don't have you come to identify him. They don't do an autopsy. Now, who came to the funeral home to take out the bullet? Was that forensic people, or?
I heard it was a detective in the coroner or the medical examiner. I'm really not for sure because I was out of it. I really can't tell you who did it. Malone knows who did it. You know, I don't know.
And did you take any steps to contact the police department or the mayor, Pete Buttigieg?
At that particular point in time, I did take a step to contact homicide. I went down and I spoke with Detective Alex. They gave me the runaround like I knew they would.
Was it South Bend Police?
It was South Bend Homicide, yeah, Metro Homicide Unit. We went down there to talk to him. And they didn't... We have text messages. I have his phone. His phone, that was a brand new phone that my son had, a brand new iPhone. And he had to use hotspot to get on it to call me. That was a brand new phone. They tore that phone to pieces. They took the guts out of the phone. That phone was an iPhone. They took the guts out of the phone. But they didn't.
What reason? Why did they do that?
I don't know why they done that. Maybe it was something in it that they didn't want nobody to see. Maybe, I don't know.
What did they, you said they didn't take out one thing?
Yeah, they didn't take out one thing.
What was that one?
The SIM card. Yeah, the SIM card.
Do you have that?
I do.
Did it reveal anything to you?
I haven't looked at it. I haven't been able to look at it. I haven't been able to really, you know, it just makes my heart sink even more. Makes me nervous, makes me sick to my stomach. Because I know, a mother knows their child. A mother knows what their child will and won't do. And I know with my child, he didn't commit no suicide. He was too full of life. And
it also sounds like you two were close, so if he was having dark thoughts at some point.
If he was, he would have talked to me about it. He did have seizures. He really did. But nothing of such of a matter to where he would want to take his own life. Nobody in the world will, and everybody that knows me and knows my children, nobody in the world will ever, they do not believe it. They said it's impossible. I know it's impossible because my son is left-handed. He's not right-handed. He couldn't use his right hand. I have documentation from the doctor. So somewhere, somehow, somebody knows the truth, and I want the truth.
So what you're saying is he was left-handed and a shot was on his right side and his right hand was fractured, is that correct?
And had 3 fractures in it where he couldn't squeeze a ball.
That's before the shooting.
This is before the shooting.
So basically what they're saying is he would have to have done that or something?
Yeah, basically that's what they're saying. Impossible. It's impossible. But you know what? I'm a firm believer in God. And my faith is very, very strong. And I know God is going to bring everything to light. Everything and everybody that had a hand in it is going to come. God is going to bring them to the light. So as they say, what you do in the dark comes to the light. It's the truth. What you do in the dark is going to come to the light. They stole something from me, a big part of me, a big piece of me. They took a big piece of my life when they took my son from me. His brothers are going through something terrible. A lot of people that loved him, his sisters, he's not going to be able to see his baby born. He's not going to be able to see his son. It's unfair. It's not fair. They just took my baby away from me. And nobody will give me no answers. But I'm going to get answers. I'm going to get some answers. Nobody will tell me what happened to my son, and I just want to know. And I know my baby didn't commit suicide. I know he didn't. They don't realize how bad it is, how hard it is, how tough it is. Just for me to get up out the bed every morning. If it wasn't for God, I would still be, I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for God, honestly. Honestly. It hurts every time I talk about it. Every time, because I lost a big piece of me.
And as painful as it is to lose your child, I assume it's even worse to have no answers or closure.
It is. I have no closure yet. But I will have closure, because God's going to make sure I have closure.
Did you contacted the South Bend Police Department, homicide. Did you contact City Hall, the mayor's office?
No, I didn't. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think that far. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like they don't care. It's just another person going to them.
So you see the mayor running for president. Does he care about things like this? Does he know about this? What I mean, his police department obviously knows about it.
The Mishawaka Police Department knows about it. South Bend Metro Homicide knows about it. So if they know about it, I'm pretty sure he knows about it. Has he tried to do anything about it? I don't know, because I haven't got a chance to talk to him. He's too busy trying to do his little campaign and thing for president. Nothing against him, because I never met the man. But at least reach out to the families that reach out to the families that have lost a loved one in murder with these guns. Reach out to them. Just, you're doing all this. I don't know. Like I said, I I don't uphold, you know, if that's what he want to do, that's what he want to do. But you need to be more active and more involved in what's going on in your city, and you're the mayor, and you're not.
And it also sounds like his police department violated multiple rights you have. You have a right to identify your child.
I have a right to it. Mishawaka Police Department, I have a right to. I had a right to identify my son's body. They denied me that right. They didn't take, I don't even know if they took my son to the hospital. I don't know. I can't even begin to tell you where they took my child. I was getting, next thing I know, that morning, the next morning, I was getting a call from Palmer's wanting me to, well, we're going to go ahead and embalm. My sister said, no. No, you're not. We're going to have somebody else come and get him. So that's what they did. So that's what I did. I had somebody else come pick him up. And
no autopsy. Have you asked for other documents or anything related to this?
I have. I have asked for other documents. I actually have to go and pick them up Monday. I have. So we'll just see if I have them all. We'll just see if I have them all. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of text messages that don't add up. That's all I can say.
And without, you know, we're not going to name names, but I assume if you don't think he killed himself, you might feel that there might be some people who did harm to him.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do. Nobody's going to change my mind about that. Nobody. I don't care who it is. I'm going to stand firm on what I believe.
And what's really concerning to me, I've been here a few days, you're not the only mother that's spending her first holiday without a child, whether it was the South Bend police shooting them or other violence. And there's been seemingly systemic cover-ups in the police department, lack of transparency.
It's sad. It's sad. I mean, our police departments are supposed to protect and service us. Not all of them are bad. I can't tell you that. I can't sit here and lie and say that they are, you know. And I'm pretty sure it's very stressful for them as well it is, but not being able for my son to walk in the door and say, Merry Christmas, Mom, or hey, lady, you know, it's going to be hard. It's rough. It's very hard. It's very hard. I try not to think about it, but when I think about it, I just cry. When I go visit him, I just cry. It's hard.
And what would be your message? I mean, he's still the mayor until January. If Mayor Buttigieg was watching, what would be your message? Because, I mean, he was trying to be president, but it seems like your son's case is not an anomaly.
Reach out to the parents that have lost their child this year. I'm not saying come, oh, well, I'm so sorry. I'm not saying come do that. But at least have a little concern. Even if you're not concerned, act like you're concerned. But good luck to him and good luck to his presidential, whatever he's campaigning or whatever he's doing. Good luck to him. Reach out. It was all in. My cousin got killed at Kelly's Pub. On Brandon Williams. I know Malone told you about him. And then my son got killed. He got killed in June. My son and Chris, they were all three cousins, got killed Chris and William got killed on the same night, on the same day, July 21st.
Okay, now go ahead and start eating them. Come on.
All three cousins.
Tell me about your son. What was he like?
He was feisty. He was a little rough, you know, but he worked at Linden Grill. He was getting himself together. William worked at Linden Grill. William was full of life. He would make you laugh. You know, growing up, he loved animals. You know, growing up with him, he had a personality. Trust me, he had a personality. He had a personality. He was very smart. He could fix things. I remember one time my dryer broke and I didn't know, I had to go buy the piece, and he said, "Mom, I know what to do." He was about maybe 12, and he fixed my dryer. He put the little piece on there and I didn't even know how to do it. But William was full of life. He loved family. He loved family time. He loved to be around his family. He loved to be around his sisters. He loved to be around his brothers. He loved to be around family, period. He loved to be around, he was a daddy's boy, so he liked to be around his dad, and he liked to be around his aunties and uncles, you know what I'm saying? And, he was just full of life, And they took that from us.
How's his 2-year-old doing right now?
His 2-year-old's doing good. He always says, "Nana's, Daddy's up there." I was like, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And the newborn should be here any day now. We're just waiting. She's actually due on the January 15th. But we think she's going to go in early. So, but the 2-year-old is doing very good. He's full of life and just laughs all the time, He's so much like his dad. He got a lot of ways like his dad. And we have to explain to him. That's something we have to explain to him about him losing his dad too. They were so selfish. They were selfish. Whoever did it was selfish.
Why do you think the police would cover it up? Sounds like they did.
Something's not adding up. Some mistakes have been made. Some things have been not done correctly. My rights have been violated. Something is not adding up. Only thing I want is the truth. I want the truth. That's all I want. Give me the truth. I'll take the truth over anything.
We'll stay in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.